My name is Tarmack, and this is your game industry news wrap-up for the week of May 13th, 2017. Square Enix announced its withdrawal from the wholly owned subsidiary IO Interactive, citing poor performance and massive losses to the tune of over $40 million for their episodic Hitman title. While Hitman was critically acclaimed by many after certain online restrictions were patched out, it appears that players interested in the title did not come back in droves for each of the episodic releases. I can definitely recommend it now if you're in the market and can find it on sale, but it remains to be seen just how active the online functionality will be long term. The whole situation puts the episodic release of the Final Fantasy VII remake in question, though admittedly, 7 has a much larger and even more rose-colored optical nerve fanbase than Hitman ever did. Just imagine if Emerald or Ruby Weapon were elusive targets. All of this is caught in stark contrast to how well Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy have been doing for Square, those being customer-focused, proper video games without monetization shenanigans going on. This becoming a trend would be nice. Alan Wake is being delisted from Steam and Xbox Live on May 15th as a result of expiring licenses for music used in the game. This issue has presented itself in Grand Theft Auto games as well as numerous TV shows, movies, and other video games, as licensing for music is often done on a set period of time. Remedy, the developer who made Alan Wake, has said that they're looking into relicensing the music but isn't sure if or when it will happen. It's really a pity when license restrictions stop the sale of a title, but those who already own the game, those who own a license for the game will still be able to play it. Honestly, I think the biggest issue I have with this situation specifically is that Remedy announced that it would be delisted on Friday last week for the actual delisting Monday the 15th. They gave gamers who haven't bought Alan Wake a grand total of about 3 days to pick it up. I guess what I don't understand is why anyone uses licensed music in their games. Who's buying a game because it has a David Bowie track in it? Well, except for Magic Dance maybe. I'd buy a game that had that song in it. Dance, Magic, Dance. Payday 2, developer Overkill's bank-robbing and experiment in social frustration simulator is getting an Ultimate Edition in June that includes all previous updates. Of note, however, this will also coincide with the removal of all DLC from the Steam store, with all future DLC simply being included for free as the company continues to support the game until October 2018. Payday 2, for those who don't remember, is the game where it was promised to not have microtransactions, then it had microtransactions which were then removed. It's so adorable when you can watch developers learn in real time. Still, I had a good time playing a bit of Payday 2 myself, and at $45 for the Ultimate Edition with all of the content, that's not a bad deal for a game that will probably be taken offline shortly after support ends in October next year. It turns out that Blizzard's Overwatch League is a lot more expensive than many people thought, pricing most if not all existing esports teams out of the market of buying their own city-localized franchise license. The buy-in to have the exclusive right to a franchise team in a city has been quoted by sources from ESPN at $20 million, with no guaranteed revenue share until after the year 2021. Which still sounds like some far-off future date quoted in an old movie. Blizzard made a public comment about the ESPN report on teams' hesitancy to buy into the new league, not denying any of the specifics, but claiming some people might be spreading misinformation to get a better negotiation out of a deal. I'd say that Blizzard is getting too far ahead of themselves in trying something that's never been done before, like creating a proper city-based esports league, but they should be applauded. It's the first time they've done something that wasn't someone else's idea first, just polished to a diamond shine. Oh right, traditional sports leagues did it first, and Blizzard hired Fox Sports exec Pete Flistelica to run it. And finally, BioWare has put the Mass Effect series on hold, turning its Montreal studio into a support studio for the other main branches in Edmonton and Austin. Mass Effect Andromeda's poor turnout is likely the primary impetus for this change, and while there haven't been any major layoffs announced yet, a solid chunk of the Montreal team has been transitioned to developer Motive Studios, who shares space in the same building. I enjoyed what I played of the game, but it was certainly a buggy experience that I did not return to, a position I suspect shared by many. That's okay though, much like the franchise fatigue I get with every Assassin's Creed or Far Cry game release, right now, my face is tired of Mass Effect. Your video game releases for the week of May 14th to 20th are as follows. May 16th will witness the continued expansion of the genre of Souls-likes, because apparently new names are just about impossible at this point and everything has to have "like" on the end of it. The Surge is a futuristic third-person action game based in a world where an enormous tech company is trying to save humanity. Or is it? The title has all of the hallmarks of the Dark Souls series, with areas that have plenty of looping back shortcuts, tech scraps that you use to level being dropped and recoverable on death, difficult but fair combat, massive boss fights, and an aesthetic that the genre hasn't had to date. Even better, everyone looks like they fell into a junkyard and got stuck in a front-end loader. The Surge is out on the 16th of May for $45 US and will be releasing on the Focus Home online store, Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. And let me just say, the jumping tripod mechs can sod right off. This week also hails the release of Injustice 2. The Injustice series is the DC Universe equivalent of Street Fighter with all of your favorites: Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Jokerman, Bane, Scarecrow, and of course, well on par with all of those other incredibly powerful beings from the DC brand of comics, Robin, because he belongs on that list. Injustice 2 is out on May 16th for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, with unfortunately no confirmed PC release at this time. It'll be the standard $60 base US price. On May 19th, reminiscent of the 3D platformers of old, where have I heard that before recently? A game called Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island will be released. It's a platformer, as mentioned, with a main character who has a flying sidekick. Where have I heard that before recently? The game has plenty of abilities, including a time manipulation mechanic, which allows you to revert time or slow it down, and the game's fully voiced. Haven't heard that recently. So it could be what Yooka-Laylee should have been. Skylar and Plux releases May 19th for $15 US on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. This has been your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of May 13th, 2017. I'm going to pull from the YouTube comments for the feedback loop topic this time. I really like the suggestion from user 109. That's his name, I don't rank viewers. The Wednesday livestream monologue will be on the topic of attitudes of developers towards players. Things along the lines of the easy mode activation in Mario titles, harder games like Dark Souls, and such. As perhaps a better title, I'm going to go with Developers' Respect of Player Time. So, tune in Wednesday at 7 p.m. MST on twitch.tv/Tarmack Gaming to see it live, and drop any comments or questions you have on that topic down in the comments below here, over on Discord, Twitter @GnomeCast, and so on and so forth. My name is Tarmack. Thanks for watching.